Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. This podcast is for and about women of colour and our relationship with nature. Hosted by me, Sheree Mack. The Earth, Sea, Love podcast is committed to exploring the experiences of women of colour with Mother Nature. We want to provide spaces where the hidden voices in the environmental and conservation conversations can explore their relationship with the natural world. Inspired by our time spent outdoors, we amplify the voices of women of colour, our stories, our conversations, interviews, photography, writing, and artwork. We'll be exploring our legacies, histories, and memories which have had an influence and effect upon how we perceive ourselves within the natural world and within the environmental and climate justice movements. Welcome to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. The Earth, Sea, Love podcast has been made possible by the funding from National Lottery Heritage Fund. Thank you. Hey. Hello, everybody. It's been a long time. I didn't think I was going to see you again, in the words of Alexandra O'Neill. So yeah, I've just made some luxury fruit bread and coffee, and I'm just nestling into the corner of the settee, got my blanket on, getting cozy. Comfort. I needed to get comfortable and cozy and feel safe in order to come back to the podcast and record my voice, because time has definitely run away with me, and so has life. So we're nearing October 2020, and I'd like to invite you and welcome you back to the Earth, Sea, Love podcast. I planned to have some summer holidays away from social media to try and bring some kind of normalcy to the proceedings of 2020. So August was always going to be the time that I had off, and I foolishly thought I'd be able to keep posting the podcast during this time, even though, I was continuing with the conversations and the recordings. They were still going. But it appears that once I stepped away, everything stopped. Everything shut down. And it seemed I was a tad burnt out. And that's a shame, because the Earth, Sea, Love podcast was just in its infancy. We'd created some momentum. People were talking about us, and now it feels like coming back. It's almost as if starting all over again. But maybe it's worse, because I've seen what we've done. I've seen the impact that we have, and I've seen that people are listening to these stories from women of colour. And I've seen that we've had an impact, and and try and get that back. It's lost that impact that we had, and I'm sad about that. And it could be another uphill battle, but we're back. And we're back because what we're doing is important, it's needed, it's worthy. So no matter how hard it feels in this moment to use my voice again, I'm using it. So that might be August accounted for, but look, we're here. This is the end of September. What's been happening in the background? Well, I don't need to tell you how much of a challenging year 2020 has been in more ways than one. We've had the coronavirus, we've had the Black Lives Matter uprising, and there's been a pivoting from what we do outside with our groups in nature to becoming online. And, I'll admit I've been struggling to keep things together. And I've been struggling to hold on for, doing what's right for my family, but maybe not honouring myself as much. And, I've mentioned I did go into therapy in July, and it was clear because I needed support, me. And through this process, what became clear was how my marriage wasn't working anymore. Nearly 25 years with one man, 17 years of those being married, and it is damn hard to wake up one morning and you realise this isn't working anymore. And I make it sound as if it was a one-day decision. This separation has been a long time coming, and maybe I've been on this journey for over the last 5 years, since my death at the hands of fellow poets who called me out as a plagiarist on Facebook. Trying to ruin my career and reputation and me. And then, since hitting that rock bottom, I've been trying to rebuild myself in my true essence, in my authenticity. So I stand in my truth at all times. And authenticity isn't a word I use lightly. It seems to be in vogue these days, but I have been practicing being able to walk with my shadow side, with acknowledging my flaws, my imperfections, at the same time as loving myself. So for these past 5 years, I have been rebuilding. It's been a great remembering, in the sense of getting back to myself and trying to love myself from the inside out. And that's not easy when you live in a society and culture which teaches you to measure yourself from the external, from what you produce, from what you do, from what you consume or what you accumulate. And of course, I'm still on this journey. And of course, it's a practice. Back in December 2019, I chose my guiding word for 2020 to be power. I made a commitment to myself then that I would spend this year taking back my power, that I'd be working to stand in my power. And I promised to myself not to shy away from my power or hide it or deny it. So no matter how challenging 2020 has become, the mantra of claiming my power has stood with me, no matter how that looks or sounds. So I may not have made great journeys this year. I haven't returned to Iceland or even gone across the border to Scotland, but I have stuck close to nature and recognised her power. A quiet presence which flourishes no matter what. During lockdown, I took to walking out almost daily with no direction in mind, just walking. And I was walking, searching for the colour purple. I'd find a purple flower, these blousy hydrangeas, the elegant irises, and I'd breathe in their power and their presence and their being. This helped ground me, and also this helped to give me courage and strength. Purple is historically a colour that has been associated with power and regality. You know, the popes and kings and queens. They were the only ones that could wear it due to the rarity of the colour and how painstakingly intricate and rare it was to create the colour purple. So I was searching for this colour consciously and subconsciously, looking at nature once again to show me how to be, how to get back to my power and to rest in my presence. So this month I separated from my husband, and I've been pouring all my creativity into making a new home for me and Miss Ella. And it's been hard, I won't lie. But there's also been some light. And even though I haven't been releasing any podcasts, there's still been a constant flow of conversations that I've been having with women of colour around the world and about their connection with nature. And this has held me and inspired me and has given me a kick up the arse that I needed to get back into the saddle and start releasing new episodes of the Earthsea Love podcast. And I'm still learning. In so many ways about podcasting, being a podcaster, interviews, and I embrace it. And I embrace it all. And it gives me great pleasure. And that's being honest. It gives me great pleasure to bring out some of these episodes that I've been sitting on, that I know you're going to enjoy, and I know there's so many words of wisdom within them. And I could spend my time saying, it's a shame, the time has gone, we've missed the boats with maybe deadlines of offerings, etc. But the thing is, this relationship that we have with nature, there's a timelessness about it, or there's a constantness about it. It's a case of it's always with us. It's always going to be there, that connection. And the more that we lean into it, we talk about it, we practice it, the stronger it gets. And, the aim of this podcast, is to inspire, to maybe get you thinking about your connection with nature and how it's not a taking relationship. It's a mutually cooperative, collaboration, reciprocal relationship. Because through this connection with nature, we learn more about her, we learn to care and love more for her, and through that love we actually start to take action, to do something, to protect, save, conserve, change our actions and behaviours towards Mother Earth, so we can start to heal ourselves and others and Mother Earth. Anyway, enough from me. It's exhausting being emotional and being vulnerable and putting yourself out there. But again, it is worth it. It is worth it. Welcome back to the Earth Sea Love podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.